Alright, so we've got two basic images to edit. We've got this one. Here are the raw images. Pretty simple. There's about 4 raw images for this one. And we've also got this kitchen shot. Again, these are basic images, so they're not going to require masking of the windows or anything like that. The clients are not paying for that, so they're basically just paying for the basic package. So we do basic editing on them, and that's exactly what these are, so let's get straight to it. So first we'll get started with this image, and I think I'll select this one as my base. I'll just bring this right into Camera Raw and start making some basic adjustments. Adjusting the color temperature. Looks like there's a little bit too much green. Add some contrast to the couch area. Overexpose it just a tad. Don't want to go too crazy here. I think this is a decent base to start with though. Yeah, I think I'll select this one. Bring that into Camera Raw. And I'm going to use this image basically to take down the overexposed areas in the cabinets over here, as well as the light fixture over here. Again, just make some basic adjustments to these. But bring the exposure down just enough so that we can actually see some detail in that light fixture. All that good stuff. So I'll just throw that onto that existing document and go ahead and resize this down. I'm not even going to bother saving a PSD of these. I never save the PSDs when it comes to the basic images, so I'm just going to take my soft brush and basically just paint it in to the areas that I feel are just a little overexposed. I'm just going to come in here with the quick selection tool and make sure that this layer is selected, because this one's the overexposed area. And Photoshop will be able to see this a little bit easier since it's basically just completely white. And I'll come in here with a hard brush and just paint that in. And then paint a little bit of it out, because I don't want these to be black or dark. I do still want them to have a clean look to them, but just enough so that we can see a little bit of that texture or the detail of it. And I always suggest just bringing out the details if there's something that's overexposed that could look better. Just try and take down the overall brightness. And I'll just paint this in, take up my opacity and paint it in just a little bit. Again, it's not even that much, it's just enough to kind of see what's in there. And you really don't need to go too crazy. Other than that, if I go too dark with this, then it's just not going to look good. But I think that looks pretty good as a base. So now that I've kind of got the interior situated, I'm going to come in here real quick with the spot healing brush and see if I can't manually just remove the wires outside. I doubt that anyone would see this if they were looking at the tour on a virtual tour on a website. But just in case, I would like to clean that up a little bit. Make sure that there's nothing outside that really needs to be touched up. Maybe come in here and just remove the reflections from the lights themselves. Remove those. I always think it looks way better without the light switches, outlets, things like that. Let's see what I can do real quick with the spot healing brush as far as the removing the reflections from the light. And it's okay if it's a little blotchy. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Really doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because we are at such a distance that I'm not even going to bother, coming in here and refining the edge and making it completely straight. It's totally acceptable because it's at such a distance. it's at such a distance that nobody will ever see that. Nobody will ever see that, so I'm just going to make a quick selection here. See what content aware can do for me, and of course it's not going to do anything for me. So let me see if I can't just move this over, and that's pretty good. I'd like to remove that. I think it would look cleaner if it wasn't there. Just move that over a little bit, and then maybe pop in a layer, pop in a new layer, and just select some similar colors, and then just kind of paint in some more light, so that just kind of blends in a little bit better. And it looks like I kind of went over that edge, so I'll just make a quick selection and then delete that. Merge these together, and there we go. Then select the painting real quick. Just up the brightness and contrast on that. Just want it to have a little bit more life. And now that I'm looking at it, the inside is looking a little dull, a little boring, kind of lifeless. So I'm just going to pop in a brightness and contrast adjustment layer and just going to paint this in so that it has a little bit more something going on. And then paint it out to the areas that I feel like it's kind of taking away from. And lower that down just a tad. But overall, I think this is decent. I'm going to go ahead and run my sharpen pass. Don't want to spend too much time on this because after all, it is a basic image. And actually, before I head out, I'm going to grab the spot healing brush and just touch up get rid of some of these marks on the back of the couch. Just really basic. I'm always just trying to keep my eye out for things that have small imperfections and things like that, but that's pretty good overall. Run my sharpen pass, and then of course I'll come back in a few minutes and make any further adjustments that I need to as far as the overall colors, the contrast, brightness, things like that when I actually review the image. But for now, I think this looks pretty decent.